Hi folks, Carrie here in Google Tilt Brush. This is just one app that you can create lessons. We are in the night sky right now and you can see my hands, all of the different gadgets that I have to create. And so we are going to get started on our XR, AR, VR lecture by myself, Dr. Carrie Ewert, in a virtual setting. Let's get started. Now, as we start to get into our agenda for this lesson, we are going to be looking at exploring foundational theories in educational technology and examining the differences between XR, AR, and VR and mixed realities as well. We are going to be looking at the philosophy or techno, that should be a C there, let's just add that over here, techno, up. There we go. Techno philosophies and the future worlds. And then we want to make sure that we are examining the histories of virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed realities. In this lesson, we're going to examine the reality-virtuality continuum. We are going to investigate EDIDA frameworks and how these all come to play. And we are going to be looking at AI in XR realities. We are looking to see the future of educational technologies and how specifically extended realities are extending the educational world. So let's get started. So we ask, what is augmented reality, or what we refer to as AR? What is virtual reality, or what we refer to as VR? And what is mixed reality, or MR? And how does this all come into play with what we call XR, or extended realities? Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is now our virtual. Let's do this right now. This is a virtual environment. It allows us to create, but it gives you the sense of being in front of a real audience. Okay, you can see them very closely. And I have on my board the whole essence of what is virtual reality, what is augmented reality, and what is mixed reality. And we see that virtual reality is in fact when it's superimposed, where you have a reality that is unlike your own reality. And it's where you have avatars and different characters immersed within this reality. Now, in this particular setting, you see that we're in an office. You have our welcome flag, you have the slide deck behind. And again, we're looking, you can see the person, I can't go too far because I'm on my desk there, has the slide deck in front of them. So as a presenter, you're able to see your slide notes, whereas everybody who would be sitting here in a virtual setting are able to give you feedback, are able to listen, and you see how real everything looks. You can start a conversation that gives you back. So as we continue, we look at the history of these virtual realities. We see that there's so much in terms of depth and breadth and where it's taken us, but we're not going to spend too much time on that, but rather the characteristics of the virtual reality. And in looking at these characteristics, we see that virtual reality really emphasizes that sense of autonomy and agency. You have a sense of creating a virtual space that is conducive to people's learning styles, to your own presentation style. We have virtual reality providing that natural interaction using gestures, as you can see with the controller. You can see my hands. I have access to pointers in this respect. And then we have virtual reality that gives us a sense of presence. It feels like there is somebody sitting right in front of us, giving us, looking at us. You can even see his type of eyes and how he's listening. So in terms of this, we get a real sense of where we can be in a different setting other than the four walls and confined in your own reality. In this next phase, we look at AR, or augmented reality, where you have digital objects, 2D and 3-dimensional models, overlaid your actual reality, your physical environment. This is my home. I have shown examples of how we've overlaid. This is the First Peoples Principles wheel, looking at Indigenous ways of learning, knowing, and doing. We have the histories of augmented reality, which you have learned about in the traditional lesson. And then we have a really neat video that you can see demonstrating, I apologize for my shaky hand, this is why I never became a surgeon, but looking at augmented reality. As we see augmented reality, it was a phrase that was coined by Tom Caddell in 1990 while working on the Boeing Computer Service Research, created that software that deployed this really important overlay of augmentation or digital tools to the real world. Augmented reality really enhances the reality by allowing us to see both the real world and a virtual world, which is merged together through that composite view. Now I want you to think about the future of augmented reality. Where is augmented reality headed? Where are we going from here? What do you think is in store for us for education in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, and the next 20 years? Make sure that you record in the module using the Padlet.
Now, no matter what you're trying to do within a virtual or augmented reality, the characteristics of augmented reality include combining real and virtual objects to produce a composite view, like this.
They allow you to interact in real time in the real environment. This is my office here, and really support that explicit and implicit interaction. And augmented reality is officially registered in 3-dimensional. You are able to use different types of 3-dimensional objects and digital objects. Sketchfab has a wide variety of different objects that you can use. This is the HoloLens of which you view augmented reality. But the point is, you can take any of these predetermined and pre-existing 3-dimensional shapes like this pulley system here to teach sciences, looking at different types of abstract or historical areas that you can explore through the class. And you can either overlay this within an augmented reality within the real environment, or use different engines such as Unreal, such as Unity, such as different ones that we'll be exploring in class to create this very virtual environment where students can create avatars. You might have students examining the future of technology in this way and really thinking about how to redefine the space and creating different ways of examining and looking at future worlds. And the final piece is you can use this within this sense. This is a model here of the optic nerve and the brainstem, and teach it within your science classes. You can have students doing their own labeling. You can have them really examining different parts that they never would have been able to do in the past. So augmented and virtual reality allows you to create spaces and places that didn't exist prior to the use of technology. And you can use it in such a way that is from the real world through to that virtual world, which we'll be talking about in just a minute in the mixed realities. Whether it be the Gatwick Airport Passenger app, which takes you on an augmented journey throughout the entire airport, or in the Google Arts and Culture section, where you can look at different art pieces, you can look at installations, you can look at different animals, or you can look at different artifacts from history within different environments. You are guaranteed to be able to learn and immerse yourself within these digital spaces. Whether you're using it to now build a Snapchat AR, you can include a different lens, utilize it for teaching and learning in the different environments, you see that there is a late history of augmented reality in various different forms and the future of where this augmented reality is going. From the past and looking at it from sports such as hockey or that yellow line that you see within football. It has shown that there is quite a vast history and future, and this brings us to our mixed reality and the 6 working definitions of reality virtuality continuum, which we are going to embed in every practice that we use within this course. Previous synonyms and for augmented reality: combination of AR and VR, stronger version of augmented reality, types of different collaboration, and the aligned environments between physical and virtual worlds all make up the definition of mixed reality. But as you see here, it is a combination and a demonstration between the real world. And in this mixed reality continuum, you see within the physical world that it is very tangible. You still have access to your own environment, but 3D is overlaid within that environment, and you use headsets to be able to see it better in a spatial projective sense. And then we move to those handheld pieces, whether it be a smartphone, a tablet, and moving into that virtual world where it's overlaid completely within an immersive world, or using a head-mounted machine to be able to see. We then come to Milgram's and Kishino's extended mixed reality called the reality virtuality continuum. At the start, we start in a real world with everything that you see around you is real. Then we add the augmented piece into it, 3-dimensional aspects within that real world, creating an augmented reality. Then we add the virtual world, but still have augmented pieces, 3D dimensional shapes, mixed with real situated pieces within that environment. And when I use the word pieces, I mean elements or different types of objects. And finally, we move to a virtual reality, and that is at the end of the continuum, where everything that you are immersed in is within a virtual element or virtual reality world. 3-dimensional objects in a world that is other than the real world, called a virtual world. Now, as we enter the metaverse, we look at extended reality, which is an umbrella term to be used to explain the immersive realities that merge that physical and virtual world. It extends that mainstream and will be part of this next 5 years, as you see within these examples. And as quoted, XR is an effective technology for active and experiential learning, enabling users to gain concrete experiences that might not otherwise be available by providing hands-on experience, helping promote student engagement with learning materials and deepen student interaction with complex problems. Now, as we look at future trends, we see AI immersing itself into XR environments. The metaverse will really expand within the next 3 and 5 years to create this mixed reality XR ecosystem, with digital twins XR trending, photorealistic XR, hyper-realistic avatars. XR immersive training will happen within different instructional environments, and then really the whole idea of how are we taking equity, diversity, inclusion, decolonization, and anti-racism frameworks and embedding them into the accessibility for all individuals to learn in hands-on in meaningful ways. Now, looking at multi-user AR experiences, looking at ways that we can extend our own reality allows for a more immersive world within the gaming, medical, mental illness, remote learning, and all different sectors. So if we look at the techno-philosophic view, we see that there are ethics of technology from moral principles and values surrounding the development, deployment, and use of technology in this way. There's the philosophy of as AI intertwined within this to create these immersive experiences that are dynamic and global in nature. When we're looking at digital ontology and epistemology, we examine the nature of reality and virtuality, looking at the knowledge and existence in the context of digital technologies and virtual environments. And when examining technological determinism and social constructivism, we see that dichotomy between exploring the nature between technology and society, and how debating whether technology primarily shapes human behavior and has social constructors. And then finally, looking at the transhumanism and posthumanism. This is the philosophical movements that explore the possibilities and consequences of human enhancement and technological evolution to enhance human abilities and longevity, where posthumanism considers the implications of technology advancements for the future of humanity and blurring of boundaries between human and non-human entities. So I ask you to really think about where you're going and the future of immersive realities, looking at extended realities from the standpoint of AR, VR, and MR.